Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in the future, I'm just going to start jabbering about various things. But I figure I'll do a couple little readings and then we'll get to that point. But excuse the background destruction. My roomie, very nice person, watches the news and or destructive shows. So I try to tune those out, but I figure by tuning those out, I'm not really getting anywhere. So I might as well just embrace them and accept them for their tune them out in their own way. So let's go ahead and figure I'd start the video just like kind of all natural, like my little thing. Sandalwood, healing. Maybe should add some Nag Champa. I will eventually. It'll come. And there's that. Hope everyone's having a good day and enjoying the great melt. Hopefully it's melting where you are. It keeps snowing here. And it's an angel reading. Hurts. Little feathers. Represent my little sisters. We each got a color. I think I get to be the white one. And let's see. Who cares if we look like a dork, right? We're supposed to be. If we are ourselves, it frees others to be themselves too. So, alright, let's get on with the reading. Angel, source, guide, ascended masters. What can we give the collective today? Somebody out there needs to hear something. What can we give to people to help enlighten a little? Our first card is turn the page. Move on from the past, step into the unknown, and blessings await. And as always, if you want a personal reading, go ahead and just either leave a comment below, or you can email me at Amanda T. Mueller, Mueller, at gmail.com. And it's all lowercase. I'll leave that in the links below. You have to excuse me not having proper terminologies for the things. I just kind of go with my own little naturalness. So if it seems hippie or funky, I just have to kind of go with that one. For our second card, we have Wild Child. Embrace playfulness and innocence. Time for inner child healing. Kind of just go with the flow. And after we're done getting all these, we'll see what pops out. I guess all those are just going to kind of, that's what we're going to go with today. Makes it a little quicker for you guys. Of course, that's not the point, but for our third child, or not child, maybe I should restart this one. But I'm actually just going to go with the flow, so who cares, right? So for our third card, we have grounding. Reconnect with nature, balance, sensitivity, and the crystalline grid. So turning the page, moving from something in the past, stepping into the unknown, and blessings await. I think with life, you know, the chapter, the book of life, and as above, so below. That's kind of what it is on the card, if you guys can see that. I suppose how would you be able to if I don't show you? That's kind of cool. Or it has, you know, the book of life like emerging from below and rising up, you know, and maybe with elevation, you know, you are able to step into the unknown and the blessings do await when we do turn that page, and sometimes it's hard to do that. Easier said than done. But if we don't do the work for ourselves, it's not meant for anybody else, but it does end up trickling over and touching others because we're all connected. There is really no sense of oneself. It's all. So, you know, just moving past. Just it's one thing to port there, but you can't live there. So I think that's kind of a little message in its own. And then Wild Child, embracing playfulness and innocence. It's time for inner child healing. So there's that one. A little hummingbird. I'm not sure exactly what you'd call that little symbol. I'm not into all those little things. I kind of just go with my knowing. But, you know, it's like life. It's within all of us. It's our root. It's our stem. You know, everything's everything. And getting back to that. Just getting back to being who you are and not worrying so much about, like kids, they don't care about what other people think. They're just naturally them. They say freely what they want to say. You know, just playing in life. Life is a playground, you know, heaven on earth, whatever you would like to embrace it as being or connect with in that sense. But the hummingbird also represents strength without being shifted. Like, the hummingbird goes through a long journey every year, and it perseveres, it gets through it, it gets to its destination, and as little as it is, it's mighty. And kind of like children, their spirit's mighty because it's not tainted, and they haven't been told or taught or shown or absorbed what makes them afraid to be that, as we get a little older. So kind of embracing that, turning the page. Like when you're a kid, nothing phases you. You skin your knee, you get, you might like woozle a little bit, but you get back up and you keep going. And then grounding. Reconnect with nature, balance sensitivity, and your crystalline grid. So, we are from Earth. Earth's alive. Earth feeds us, energy's energy. Just getting back out there, it's I've noticed when I'm like not being one with nature and kind of getting stuck on the phone, or even music, it's still on the phone, and just getting out there and taking a deep breath in, and just like the essence of life that connects all of us, it's beautiful, and it's freeing. Nature doesn't have any preconceived notion towards swaying you either way. You're just present, you're just there, you're just in the moment, and that's really what we have, That kind of connects back to being your inner child and turning the page. Maybe somebody out there needs to get back into nature a little bit more, kind of like we probably all do. And also respecting and loving and appreciating nature more, I'd say. It's when you're not in it, it's hard to relate. And I think everybody loves being in nature. They wouldn't spend their whole existence of life trying to go on vacation and get away from where they're at. Point being on that one, little side note, is be who you want to be and be in the life you want to, that you don't need a vacation from. Just a little side tip on that one. For our fourth card, we have guidance from spirit. Awareness above your head. Spirit is communicating and support. Hi, Layla. The puppies are both in on this reading right now. So guidance, whether that comes from within, everything is from within, but I do believe that we all help each other, and if that's the case, that everything always is and always will be, technically, if we're all connected, sources that do pass on from these physical bodies that we're in, sometimes you go over to the other side to be the light and the guidance, and whether it be, the words fall short, but whether it's a angel or God or Allah or source or the creator or the universe, whatever you want to call it, that energy and that light can guide and help you. And I don't know if I was hallucinating or whatnot, but I think that we've all had that little inner knowing, or that something outside or seems outside of us that's guided or come down, or maybe it's your little inner voice or intuition, whatever you want to call it, just really relaxing and being open to receive and paying attention. It's really there, and being open to communicating it to you. You do have to ask, but just also being aware that the answers and the signs might not necessarily come in the way you're looking for them, but being open to receive that and the guidance, from above or around or within. And let's see, for our fifth card, we've got, okay, so I was counting to make sure I had the right amount of numbers. Awareness in the third eye. Your third eye is opening. Look within and allow inner visions. Little tidbit of info. I think that, I wouldn't say mine's always been closed, but at some point in time it did close, and that's because I was being negative and withdrawing and kind of not really reflecting within. I was projecting outward, and just remembering back to when mine was kind of opening again. I was kind of getting a little some pressure within, but on my temples almost, and just different little signs that you'll get as it is opening or trying to, and you're usually going to go through a really dark night, and it's not going to be easy. And dark night doesn't mean one night. It could be across your lifetime. Everybody's meant to get there when they are, and just don't worry, just go with the flow and let it be, and you're not crazy, whatever does happen, and when it is opening up, you're not nuts, and it's a different experience for everybody. So just being aware of that, Maybe go up and look it up on YouTube or on the internet. Not everything you find is going to be super accurate, but just find something that resonates and talks to you. And looking within and allowing those visions to come and trusting them. You know, they might not make sense all at first, but later on they will. So just trust the process. And let's see, for our 6th card, we have Emotional Storm, which would kind of relate to the Dark Night that leads to the dawn. Practice allowing. This too shall pass. Could you let it go? And that's pretty tough sometimes. It's tough to let things go, especially when we've felt that we've invested time or energy or work or money or whatever it is that you've invested into something. It's, you know, I'm not saying let those things go necessarily, but you know, is it your happiness? Are you getting those feelings that are telling you to run, or that you need to evade, or that you need to shut everything out, like those feelings of anxiety and whatnot? That's just a personal experience. But that I was kind of sensing a lead up, like for an amount of time before I recognized and realized what it was. So that could be something in that, you know, the emotional storm, the awareness is happening. The emotional storm, you may be going through that. It may be coming. You may have overcome that a little bit. But once, you know, you don't just get one. It's the universe is like, knock, knock, do you learn your lesson? Kind of, so to say. I don't know if it necessarily works in those words, but, you know, you're constantly going to be faced with like challenges, I'd say, but it's like really like not letting it's either listening to your peace, your inner self, you know, and really acknowledging what those feelings arising are, which your third eye will help you. But it's a little turmoily before it gets there. And also afterwards, you know, it's going to continue to keep... It's not all like just peachy right after it happens. I thought that it was going to be, but life keeps going. And you get to keep leveling up, and you wouldn't level up without the contrast. So for our 7th card, take a step. Get into action. Co-create with spirit. The path will appear. There's that card. And with that one, you know, it's kind of just getting out there and just doing, not necessarily having a preconceived notion or path. Because when you go search and seek, you usually don't find. It's when you're being in your own, and when you're not afraid to take that step and you just go do it, that you find something along your path, you know, and you do get to what you're meant to be when you're in the moment, and just letting it flow. But you have to take that first step to do it, and just seeing where it takes you, and not having a preconceived notion of where you think you need to be. Just kind of going with the flow and like following, like, should I go left or right when I'm walking down the street? Just let yourself go wherever you're going to go, and it'll take you somewhere pretty awesome, chances are. And for our final card, our 8th card, we have return to center. Following balance, breathe into your pose and stay calm. Kind of like life, you know, when something is getting a little overwhelming, or there's something going on around you outside that is trickling in and irritating. Usually it's something telling you that something needs to be worked on, or else it wouldn't irritate, because you wouldn't notice it if it was just peaceful. And if you were one with something, it wouldn't, you know, rise up, technically. And I'll get better at not using quite so many words. That's a practice of mine. So following that balance, breathing into it, instead of letting it bug you, like just like really like breathing and taking it in, and finding your own inner balance, so that it, you know, you don't let anything shake you. You know, you're kind of like Bruce Lee, be unshakable, you know, not too happy and not too calm. You know, don't be indifferent, yet, you know, just really just being content and in the moment, and finding your peace and your balance, and, you know, taking that step, recentering. The storm will pass. As you're being challenged or growing, you know, you're going to find awareness and whatnot. And it is okay to ask for spirit guidance. There's always somebody there, or something. I don't know necessarily what to call it necessarily, but it's always there. And through that, you know, turning that page, taking that first initial step, weathering the storm, knowing it's going to be okay, recentering, finding your inner child, and grounding, reconnecting with nature, your guidance, and it will pass. And